When I was 10 years old, my brother Sam came home to die. It was a freezing January day, and everything about it felt heavy and cold. Sam didn't look like the same person who used to visit during the holidays with a big smile and bags full of gifts. His skin was pale and covered in strange purple marks. He looked so thin, almost like a skeleton. It scared me. Sam was much older than me, and we didn't spend much time together, but he always tried to make me feel special. Every Christmas, he brought amazing gifts, things no one else could think of. Once, he gave Mom a fancy purse she'd been talking about forever. He got Dad a grill that all his work friends envied. For me, Sam gave a creepy crawler's oven, the kind where you could make little bugs and monsters out of rubber. I loved it, and I couldn't wait to show him all the creepy creatures I made. But this time, everything was different. When I came home from school, holding a batch of my new rubber bugs, my mom stopped me in the hallway. Her eyes were red from crying. "Don't bother Sam right now," she said quietly. "He's really tired." "But I thought he'd like these," I said, holding up my creations. Mom shook her head. "Sweetheart, Sam's very sick. He can't play with you right now." Her voice cracked and she covered her face with a tissue. My dad gently put his arm around her and led her away. I didn't understand everything they were saying, but I knew something was wrong. The house felt sad and quiet. After a while, I sneaked into Sam's room. The machines around his bed beeped softly, and there were tubes everywhere. He looked so weak, like he might disappear into the blankets. "Sam?" I whispered. He didn't move. I tried again, louder this time. "Sam!" His eyes opened a little, and he made a long, groaning sound. Then, in a shaky voice, he said 6 words I'll never forget. "Look for me on the walls." Right after that, the beeping from the machine stopped. A long, flat sound filled the room. My parents and the nurse rushed in. Everything became a blur of shouting and crying. My dad pulled me out of the room and closed the door. I stood there, frozen, as my grandmother hugged me tightly. "Sam's gone, sweetheart," she whispered. "He's with the angels now." Everyone cried, but I didn't. I didn't know what to feel. Sam had always been like a visitor in my life, someone who showed up, made everything fun, and then left. I didn't really know him, but his last words, those stuck with me. That night, I went to my room and sat on my bed, staring at the walls. They were painted blue, covered with posters of baseball players and movies. At first, everything looked normal. But as the room grew darker, I noticed something strange. Shadows began to move. At first, they were just small shapes. But soon, they turned green and started swirling around. "Devin," a voice said, soft but clear. "Are you awake?" I froze. "Who's there?" "You know who," the voice replied. It sounded like Sam, but hollow, like an echo. "It's me." "Sam?" I whispered, my heart pounding. "But you're gone." The green shadows on the walls began to form a shape, a tall figure that stretched and twisted in ways no person could. It was glowing faintly, like light reflecting off water. "I'm not gone," Sam said. "I'm hiding." "Hiding? From what?" Sam didn't answer right away. The figure stretched up to the ceiling, twisting around the fan. Then he said, "People don't die, Devin. We hide." "Hide where?" "In the walls," he whispered. "We all do." Before I could say anything else, more green shapes appeared. They danced across the walls, shifting and swirling. Some looked like people. Others were just circles of light. Whispers filled the room, so many voices speaking all at once. Some were in languages I didn't understand. Others were gibberish. The sounds grew louder and louder until I couldn't take it. I screamed and covered my ears. The door flew open and my parents rushed in. "What's wrong?" my mom asked, pulling me into a hug. "It's okay, sweetheart, it's okay." But it wasn't okay. The green shapes were still there, watching, whispering. I didn't tell anyone what I saw. They wouldn't have believed me. As the years went by, I tried to forget. I went to therapy and eventually, the shapes stopped appearing. I convinced myself they weren't real, just a way my mind dealt with losing Sam. I focused on normal things: school, friends, dating. I got married, had a son, and built a life filled with love and laughter. For a long time, I thought I was free of it all. But then, one day, it came back. I was working in my home office when I started coughing. At first, it was just a tickle in my throat. Then, it got worse. I coughed so hard that blood spilled onto my desk. I tried to grab my phone to call for help, but my body felt weak. I collapsed onto the floor, struggling to breathe. As I lay there, everything around me grew quiet. Then, I heard it. A voice I hadn't heard in years. "Devin," it said softly, "it's time to hide." Green lights swirled around me, brighter than ever before. The whispers returned, louder and more urgent, and just before everything went dark, I saw Sam's figure on the wall, smiling. "People don't die," he said. "We hide." Thank you for watching, everyone. If this story gave you chills or left you thinking, don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, and hit that subscribe button for more stories like this. And remember to turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. See you in the next video. Stay curious and stay safe.